Hey, I'm back and I have made another video, which proves me when I say I am coming back to YouTube. But something was suggested to me by a friend. She saw my video and had messaged me, and she said that I should talk about beauty and hair care and health and skincare and makeup and all these things that are very important for my career. So that's why I have no makeup on my face right now, if you were wondering, because we're going to do that. So step one, the biggest thing for me is base skincare. You can only cover so much with makeup. I feel like makeup should enhance who you are, and you should work with your natural beauty. So the first and most important thing about that is having good skin. As far as my daily stuff goes, there are 3 products that I use. Hydrating Mist by Botanical Rush, but it's pretty much just a moisturizer. It's anti-inflammatory. It's got mint and aloe and willow bark and all of that stuff that's real good for your skin. My first step is always just a couple of sprays of this. I also have an essence and a toner that I bought when I was in Korea. There you go. If you can see that. I did have a period of my life where I didn't do anything for skincare, even though I had bought these. So I bought them and then I didn't use them for a while. Go over my face again with toner. I just like to use my hands. Just like to pat my face, give it a little love. So that's what my daily skincare routine is those 3 things. I also have an apple cider vinegar spray that I made myself, which is another antibacterial that I use if I have any bad breakouts happening. So that's literally just apple cider vinegar and water in a spray bottle that I bought at the grocery store. So I do also have a black sugar scrub that I use on my face and like a paper face mask, and I use those both about once a week. So that's the basics of my skincare routine. And then this is my makeup bag. It's not organized, but you know what? It's an organized mess. Alright, I pretty much just dumped the contents of my bag onto the table, so we're gonna work with that now. I am completely self-taught in makeup. I've never actually seen like tutorials or anything. I kind of just started doing my own thing. And I know generally you're supposed to do your eye makeup first because of the fallout. I usually don't, because I usually don't do that much eye makeup, but I will for the sake of this. So I have 2 palettes that I usually choose from. This is the Nocturnal Shadow Box by Urban Decay, and I have had this for years and I love it. It's starting to fall apart now. These are our shades. I have to be really gentle with this so that the brown doesn't fall out everywhere, because the brown is completely shattered. Don't ask me how that happened, I really don't know. But I usually stick to these middle top shades as probably what I'm gonna go with today, because it's usually my daily. If I do eyeshadow at all, which I don't always do, then it's usually one of those. I do also have this palette called the Mermaid Kitten palette by Winky. It's a much newer palette. I got it pretty recently. It's so cute and it has this beautiful, I really like to have fun with these shades, with like this teal shade. It matches my sweater, and occasionally I'll go with like the pink. I do really like the gold that's on it too, because it's a nice dark gold, but we're not gonna mess with that right now. And I don't have a mirror, so we're gonna use my contour palette. Wow, look at that face. I like this because it's a really neutral shade. It's very similar to my skin tone. It's just a little pink and a little shimmer. But I do really like this just because it's a really casual shade. And like I said, I don't really like changing your face too much. I feel like you should just kind of enhance what you already have. And then if you are feeling like you want to just go a little bit more, I go with the brown that I can't hold up to the camera because it will spill everywhere, because it's completely a loose powder at this point. And just go in the creases. You don't even gotta go crazy. Just kind of deepen the creases a little bit on the waterline. And y'all know me, I am not afraid of eyeliner. But I don't really like doing eyeliner on my waterline. I kind of just like to add a little bit of emphasis down there. So that's really all I do for eyeshadow. I don't really do a lot. I feel like my hair should be behind because it keeps getting in the way. So sorry to everybody who loves my long luscious hair. I do too, but now is not her time. But yeah, I just keep it really simple. A neutral shimmery shade, a little bit of dark under the eye, and a little bit of dark in the crease, because the eyeliner is where it's at. Right now I have been using MAC. I am not really partial to it in any way. I am actually a big fan of Urban Decay. I have been using Razor Sharp by Urban Decay. I've been using it since high school and I really, really love it. I just didn't have access to Urban Decay last time I was buying eyeliner, and I really needed eyeliner. I was in a pinch and the only place near me was MAC. But I do like this. It's a felt tip. I usually would recommend people to start off with a felt tip, and then once you're comfortable moving into a brush tip, start at the corner, go out a little bit, and then start out and then go in. And then I go into the inner corner and connect it. eyeliner is something that is very, very difficult. I have been doing eyeliner every day since high school. I am a college graduate. I still mess it up a lot, so I just want people to know that. It's never really gonna be perfect. But the sooner you can kind of accept the fact that you're not gonna be perfect at eyeliner from day one, the sooner you can move on with your life. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Yeah, they are sisters. They are not twins today. Some days are better than others. Today is just not one of those days. Really, the secret to eyeliner is just, if you mess up eyeliner, blend out the tops of it with black eyeshadow, because then it's a lot harder for people to notice, because it becomes a nice little smoky eye, but it still has a sharp bottom. I have a Lancome primer and a Lancome mascara. I recently started wearing eyelash primer. I don't wear falsies almost ever. They're too much work. I've worn them before. I wear them to certain events, but especially like a person like me, I have really long eyelashes, so I don't really have a need. But if you have long lashes already, you don't really need to wear falsies. Just put on some primer, because the primer will lengthen your lashes already. So they're already long, and then you lengthen them, they get even longer, and then you fill them out with mascara. It's a really, really nice, easy look. So this is the foundation I've been using recently. It's called Mineral Fusion. I usually use Urban Decay again, but I'm out of it, and again, I was just in a pickle and I was at Whole Foods and I needed to buy makeup. So I just poured a little bit of it on my hand. I'm gonna warm up my brush a little bit by rubbing it on my skin. I recently learned that actually, that the pigments will mix better with your skin if you give your brush a chance to adjust to your skin temperature and give the makeup a chance to adjust to your skin temperature. It will help your skin absorb the makeup because it will be the same temperature. It's just a really fun fact that I learned. I had never thought about it before. And it ends up making my skin look very dewy. And generally, I know dewy is a good thing, but I'm not a huge fan of dewy makeup. I think to an extent it looks nice, but I prefer matte, because you know what? At the end of the day, makeup is all about what you prefer. So other people who like dewy makeup, by all means, do the do. Do the do. But again, like I was saying earlier, the most important thing is just having a good skin base to work with. So you want to take good care of your skin above all else. And I get it, you know, everybody gets breakouts. It happens to everyone. It happens to me. I totally get that. But doing everything that you can, drinking a lot of water, keeping your skin clean. I use a Cetaphil cleanser, by the way. I love Cetaphil's cleanser, and I have used it for, again, since high school. I don't have anything to bake, by the way. I used to. I'm out of powder. I need to get more. Okay, this is my contour brush. It is Tarte, with my Tarte contour palette. Nice shimmery gold. But I personally, I have very fair skin, so I generally use the lighter shade. I'll do it like a touch of the darker, and then some more light, tap the excess, and come right in under your cheekbone. And then come in on the other side, do the same thing right under the cheekbone. And then I also like to contour my jaw, so it's the same thing but a little bit more dark. So I don't dab it in the lighter shade quite as much. Just kind of emphasize that. And then I use the other end of it, this little skinny end, and I go just in the dark and I contour my nose. And the reason I use powder contour instead of a cream contour is, again, I feel like cream contour is too strong. I like to have like a really subtle makeup look where it's like, you can tell I'm wearing makeup, but it doesn't look like I'm trying to change the composition of my face. Because you can do that with makeup. You can change how your bone structure looks, and I commend people who do that, and you're welcome to do whatever you want. I personally just like to go with like a natural look. Then there is this white in the middle. It's a shimmery white. It's not quite as much as I would like for a highlighter. I would like a bolder highlighter. I don't even have a brush for this. I use my finger, but I do like to just kind of dab at the top of my cheekbones to kind of highlight it a bit. And then to help with like the dewiness that I'm not a huge fan of, I do take my finger and I put it in that like neutral shade, sometimes 2 fingers. The shade that is supposed to be a highlight that is just my skin tone, because I'm very, very pale. I like to dab that across my forehead to kind of bring down that dewiness a little bit, because I'm not a huge fan of it on myself. Now here's the fun part. My blush is absolutely bonkers. It's in a bag because it exploded. It's a Lancome blush palette, and I really like the color, so that's why I still have this, even though it's just an exploded bag of pinkness. I just really, really like the color of it. So I like to dab off the excess. Obviously, if you know anything about makeup, you know with blush, you need to kind of focus closer to your temple and then bring it into your apple rather than the other way around. I always feel like I'm putting on too much blush, but at the same time, I feel like blush is such a cute look. Also, in my last video, I noticed that my blush wasn't as strong because obviously the camera washes it out a bit. In person right now, it looks phenomenal, but I'm gonna put a little more because on camera, it doesn't really come out as much. And I want it to look like I have blush on. Now I feel like I have too much blush. I can't see the camera right now because you're really far away and I don't have my glasses on. I will come in and blend with my fingers to kind of take it down a little bit to help everything kind of smoothen out. I feel like this looks really good. Can't really tell because you're so far away, but I do take the fat end of the brush, I put it in the darkest color at the top, kind of fill them in a little bit, and then you take the angled brush into the medium shade and you go for the outline. I also have a Maybelline brow pen that I use. I will use that occasionally if I'm going for a more makeup-y makeup look, but generally if I'm just trying to go for an easy casual daily look, I'm not trying to go for any crazy like fades or anything, just trying to look like an eyebrow, I usually just stick with this palette. It's not bad at all. I bought it at CVS. There's a lot of good stuff you can get from CVS, by the way, so don't feel ashamed. Granted, if I had money, I would be getting all of my stuff from Ulta. I'm a huge fan of Urban Decay. I can't always afford Urban Decay because rent in Los Angeles is very expensive. So when I'm brushing in with the angled brush, the important thing is to brush upwards because you want to be brushing your hairs up and out. The last thing is lipstick. I use a MAC primer. The MAC Prep and Prime. It's a nice little primer. Boom, it's pretty much a glorified chapstick. It smooths out your lips and gives the lipstick something to stick onto. So it helps your lipstick last longer and be more vibrant. This is the lipstick that I have been using recently. It is a really, really bright color. So instead of doing any kind of stroking movement, I usually just dab it because it's really bright. It's really, really pigmented. I'm just trying to go for a daily look, and if I'm just hanging out around the house, I'm not wearing lipstick, you know? If I have like a paper towel or a napkin or something, I will dab the excess lipstick off because again, it's just a really bright shade, and taking off this excess helps it blend with the lips, which helps it just stay better. And then of course, finish it off, Urban Decay setting spray, and you're good to go. You can take your hair back down, you can let it all out, and that's that. But hopefully y'all enjoyed me talking a little bit about makeup and skincare. I have another video planned where I talk about hair care, because you see this thing? It's not easy to manage, but I'll show you how I do it. But thanks for hanging out with me, and thank you guys so much for the warm welcome on my last video. I felt real good about it, and I'm really happy to be making videos again. If y'all had a good time, I would really appreciate likes, comments, subscribing, all of that good stuff. Check out my social media in the description, and I love you, and I will see you somewhere over the rainbow.